Hello and welcome to Modern World Dynamics, your ultimate guide to understanding the complex world we live in. Today, we're tackling a topic as thrilling as a roller coaster ride and as terrifying as a horror movie: fixing your own bad credit. Think of credit scores as your high school grades, but instead of impressing your teachers, you're trying to charm banks. So buckle up as we dive deep into the world of credit scores and learn how to fix them all by ourselves. Meet Joe Average, a regular guy with a not-so-regular problem. Joe's your typical bloke, loves a good football match, enjoys a pint at the local pub, and has a soft spot for his nan's apple pie. But beneath the surface of this everyday chap, there's a storm brewing, a financial tempest caused by a series of past mishaps. Once upon a time, Joe was financially carefree, swiping his credit cards with the abandon of a kid in a sweet shop. But those days of frivolous spending have caught up with him. Now he's saddled with a credit score that's seen better days, a number that's as welcome as a skunk at a garden party. It's a common tale, one that many folks can relate to. Financial mistakes happen, and they can leave a mark on your credit score as indelible as a tattoo. Poor Joe is in a bit of a pickle, isn't he? But don't worry, we're going to help him out. To understand how to fix Joe's credit, we first need to understand what a credit score is. Think of a credit score like a school report card, but for your financial behavior. It's a 3-digit number that ranges from 300 to 850. This numerical grade tells lenders, landlords, and even potential employers how reliable you are when it comes to managing money. Imagine you're lending your favorite book to a friend. Now, if this friend has a history of returning books in pristine condition, you'd lend it without a second thought, right? That's because your friend has a good book handling score. Similarly, a higher credit score indicates to lenders that you're less of a risk, making it easier for you to borrow money, rent an apartment, or even land a job. So where does this score come from? There are 3 major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They collect information about your borrowing habits and use it to calculate your credit score. Things like your bill payment history, the amount of debt you have, and how long you've been using credit all contribute to your score. But why should you care about your credit score? Well, a low score can make your life more expensive. It could mean higher interest rates on loans, higher insurance premiums, and even trouble securing housing. In contrast, a high score can open doors to lower interest rates, better credit card offers, and more financial opportunities. It's like going to a party. If you have a reputation for being a great guest, you're more likely to be invited to the next bash. But if you're known for spiking the punch and breaking the host's favorite vase, well, you might find your social calendar rather empty. Your credit score is your financial reputation, and the better it is, the more financial parties you'll be invited to. Now that we understand what a credit score is, let's see how we can help Joe fix his. Fixing a credit score isn't rocket science. It's more like baking a cake. Now, imagine you're in the kitchen, apron on, ready to whip up a scrumptious credit score cake. The first ingredient we need is to know what we're working with. That's your credit report. Our friend Joe Average requested his free annual report from the 3 major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. It's like reading the recipe before you start baking. Next, Joe had to sift through his report, just like you would sift flour for a cake. He's looking for any inaccuracies, outdated information, or discrepancies. If he finds any, he disputes them right away. Remember, even the tiniest bit of unwanted material can make your cake, or in this case, your credit score, fall flat. With that done, it's time to add in the sugar, paying bills on time. This is a sweet step that can't be skipped. Joe sets up automatic payments and reminders to ensure he never misses a payment. It's like setting a timer for your cake. It keeps things from burning. Next, Joe stirs in a healthy dose of credit utilization ratio awareness. This is the part of your available credit that you're actually using. Joe aims to keep his ratio below 30%. It's like not overfilling your cake tin. Leave some room for the cake to rise. Adding in a pinch of variety is also crucial. Creditors like to see a mix of credit types: credit cards, retail accounts, installment loans, mortgage loans, and so on. For Joe, this might mean taking out a small personal loan or opening a new credit card. It's the equivalent of adding different flavors to your cake. A little vanilla here, a dash of chocolate there. Lastly, Joe needs to be patient. Good things come to those who wait. Improving a credit score isn't an instant process, just like baking a cake takes time. Joe resists the urge to open too many accounts too quickly, as this can be seen as risky behavior by lenders. It's like trying to bake your cake at a higher temperature to speed up the process. It might just end up burnt. And voila, Joe's credit score is now on the mend. But remember, it takes time and patience. Just like waiting for that cake to cool before you can enjoy it. And when it does, it's all worth it. So, roll up your sleeves and let's get baking. With these steps, you'll be serving up a deliciously improved credit score in no time. Before we continue, a quick reminder, if you're finding this content helpful, do consider hitting that subscribe button. It's a small action that goes a long way in helping us grow this community here at Modern World Dynamics. We're all about empowering you with knowledge, and your support is the fuel that keeps us going. Now, if you're in a position to do so, we'd also greatly appreciate any donations. You see, a lot of research, time, and dedication goes into creating these informative videos. Your donations enable us to continue providing this level of detail and accuracy. Every penny helps us in our mission to make financial literacy more accessible, entertaining, and less intimidating. The donation link is conveniently located in the description below. Your support, whether through subscribing, donating, or simply watching and sharing our content, means the world to us. Thank you for your support. Now let's continue with Joe's journey. Joe has worked hard to fix his credit score, but the work doesn't end here. Let's think of credit score maintenance like gardening. You've planted the seeds, watered them, and now you have a beautiful garden. But if you stop watering, those pretty flowers will wilt. The same goes for your credit score. Joe's credit score is in good shape now, but he knows he needs to keep it that way. So how does Joe keep his credit score flourishing? First, he ensures timely bill payments. Late payments are like weeds in your garden. They can quickly damage your credit score. So, he sets up automatic payments and reminders to ensure he doesn't miss a due date. Next, Joe keeps his credit card balances low. High balances can indicate that you're living on credit, and that's a red flag for lenders. Joe uses his credit cards for convenience, not for credit. He pays off his balances in full every month, just like regularly trimming the hedges in his garden. Then, Joe is cautious about opening new credit lines. While it might be tempting to sign up for every store card that offers a discount, each new application can cause a small, temporary dip in your score. Joe's not falling for that one. He's selective about opening new accounts, just like he's selective about what he plants in his garden. Lastly, Joe keeps an eye on his credit report. Errors can creep into your credit report like pests in a garden. So Joe checks his credit report at least once a year to ensure everything is accurate. If he spots an error, he disputes it immediately. So there you have it. With a little bit of knowledge and effort, Joe managed to fix his credit score. And so can you. Remember, maintaining a good credit score isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. Just like gardening, it requires regular attention and care. But with these tips in mind, you too can keep your credit score in full bloom. Well, that was a journey, wasn't it? We've taken a walk through the land of credit scores, from understanding what they are to the steps you can take to fix a bad one. We met Joe Average and saw how he turned his financial life around. It's not rocket science, just some good old-fashioned discipline and persistence. We also talked about how to maintain a good credit score. It's like a garden. You've got to keep tending it. Let's not forget the importance of subscribing to our channel, Modern World Dynamics, for more insightful content. Your support matters. It's the fuel to our research engine. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and consider donating. The link is in the description below. Remember, in the modern world, understanding dynamics like these can make all the difference. So, until next time, stay informed and keep learning.